About them in the book, and you look at what our kids are taught in schools. I mean, from the time they go to preschool, for heaven's sake, they're taught that, if they're a boy, if they want to be aggressive, if they want to talk about guns, no, that's bad. They need to be medicated. They need to be quieted down. When they get a little older, they're taught that manhood is inherently dangerous, that it contributes to climate change, that they need to renounce their masculinity. And you see this ideology, it suffuses, permeates our media, our culture, all driven by the left.
Get your straw men out, because they're going to be all over this story, you guys. Josh Hawley there on Fox News talking about what the left wants men to be. What the left wants men to be, not with all these conservatives are talking about what men are and what women are and telling people who they are, even though they don't have any clue who this person is. Still, it's someone else telling these guys who to be, and toxic masculinity. Matter of fact, he wrote a dumb book on this as well, and he took his book tour onto Harris Faulkner's show, still on Fox News, and she accommodated him too.
You wrote about the issues you tackle in a new op-ed on foxnews.com. America's men are in crisis, and it's rooted in one big lie. Senator, what is that big lie?
The lie is that by being a man, you make the world a worse place. The lie is that we don't need strong, responsible men in the world and that all masculinity is toxic. That's false. All of those things are false, Harris. And the book is about, it's a call to arms to men to stand up, take responsibility for your life, provide for your family, for your kids, for your wife, go out and change your life, change your family, change this nation by being a good, strong man.
You know what the irony is, and I'm so glad you're hitting this topic. Prosecutors like the liberal DA here, Alvin Bragg, and others across the country want to say that the reason why people catch themselves in such violent crime and become criminals is because there's no father in the home. But exactly. They don't want masculinity in the home. It's so confounding.
I don't think they really know what they're talking about. Or maybe they do, and they're just trying to continue to fool these folks. But apparently, we need more masculinity, real men, because again, they're afraid of anyone else that they don't deem to be what they have boxed folks into. And once someone isn't, they're damn afraid of everything that they may do. Maybe just their existence standing there. But these are real men. There's no toxic masculinity going on here. They do have a solution though. As you saw at the back in there, Harris Faulkner was talking about having fathers in the home, because apparently the DA funded DA that's going after Donald Trump said we need more dads in the home. I'm not sure when he said it, but still, they have a solution in order to get us to that point.
It is confounding, and the stats tell the story, Harrison. You've just referred to them. If you want to tackle the epidemic of youth violence, especially young male violence, put a dad in the home. You want to tackle the epidemic of child poverty, put a dad in the home. So the message to men needs to be just the opposite of what the left is saying. The message needs to be, you are needed. You can change your family. You can change the destiny of your neighborhood and of this nation. And we need you to. We need you to step up, be strong, be good, be a protector and a provider.
Maybe you can tell me this, Brett, as we look at his stupid book. It's Manhood, and you have to write it really big. It has to be in red. The masculine virtues that America needs. They said we should put fathers in homes. First off, with the assumption there's no fathers in homes, number one. Number two, without analyzing why in certain homes there's not fathers, because there's many reasons why there may not be fathers in some homes. And also, there's this weird thing. I don't know if they want to. There's some homes that don't have mothers. There's homes that have neither parent. Who knows? Everyone's life is different. Some of those homes that have neither parent is because they were murdered by these folks who, as Josh Hawley pointed out in one of those clips, that we need to arm ourselves. Get our arms and make sure we come back masculine. Yeah, there's many homes that have different varying levels of parental guidance to them. Some of these fathers in the homes and they're kicking their kids out because they don't believe in who they are. There's all these things happening, but he's got a solution, Brett. It's put them in the homes. Is this a country that creates these humanoid father figures and puts them in every home? What the hell does that mean?
It's not a plan. Let me just break this down. Josh Hawley, my fellow Stanford grad, who's a total dork and not a cool guy. And that's what makes him so mad. He's just never been cool. So they lie so fast. And Jayar, you said it right at the beginning. It's just get your straw man out. They have to create a straw man argument. A straw man argument is when you make you pretend you create like this version of your your opposition's argument that isn't really their argument. It's a fake version of their argument, and then you argue with that. You can't beat their actual argument, so you have to make a fake version of it and just pretend the whole time that that is what your opponent is saying. So what is the lie that they make so fast? The lie, it's very simple. Toxic masculinity does not mean that all masculinity is toxic. It's not like saying toxic waste, where all waste is toxic. It's toxic as in saying like toxic relationships. You have good relationships and you have toxic relationships. You have good masculinity, and that's all the stuff that he's actually describing that I think most people would be in support of. Minus the manhood, I'm talking about the KKK hood that he is basically telling everybody to put on. Like, be a strong person, be a confident person, be a supportive person, protect people who need protection, be the captain of the team who also hangs out with the dorks. Like, that's what you need to do. That's good masculinity, same with their good relationships. When people talk about toxic masculinity, they're just talking about the version of that that's wrong. The version of that is just for absolutely no reason, not letting people be who they are. That's not supportive, that's not nurturing, that's not responsible. And that's what the left has a problem with. It's the version that's like, you're nothing unless you got a gun. And you're already under, like, they're so fragile. That's the problem, is he's telling people to be strong, but he's so weak. Because if you say one fact about the history of America, that there might be institutional racism, that the things that you glorify about the founding fathers, those things are good, but there were also bad things. And I think we're all grown and mature enough to have a reasonable conversation. Josh Hawley's gonna just get triggered instantly and go cry and write it all down in his diary and sell it called Manhood. Like, they lie so fast. So anytime anyone says that the left is against masculinity, BS, that's horse hockey. They're for masculinity, good masculinity, not toxic masculinity, which is the version he's peddling literally for money in his book.
Their mindset of masculinity has to conform to what they're saying, again, which is aggression, anger, and attacks. That's just the way these things work. By the way, I don't know, John mentioned it, I think, earlier this morning. He says, who didn't write the book? I don't know that, but you said he wrote it and sketched it down. Maybe he came up with the idea. Maybe he designed the cover. I don't know. I'm just going off what Iderola says. I believe this guy.
The way those books work is they assign someone to go look at what he said in public and write it down and come with an outline, and then they break the book into chapters, and then they have a ghostwriter go off and write it, and then come back and be like, yeah, that's good enough, that's close enough, let's go with it.
Yeah, nobody's gonna read this anyway. They're just gonna put on their mantle, and then or some super PAC's gonna buy them up.